Okay, greetings everyone. Welcome to the following e-seminars of the month, launched from EDUonGo. We had 3 already, started in December, 1 in January, February, and this is the March live session or webinar. And from the page that you are at, you can scroll down to watch the previous sessions if you have missed them. All of these sessions will be recorded. And today I'm not alone. So today I have invited the CEO of Udemy, Jason Rookman. So you can see Jason as well. Jason, I guess if you can wave and say hi, I will.
G'day, everyone.
All right. Let me do a quick intro for you, Jason, and then I'll go over some of the housekeeping items of the page, how people can ask questions, and then I have another monitor that I will keep following the questions and read them to you, and then we'll go over the agenda real quick, and then I'll pass it on to you. Okay. So here we go, Jason. I got a short paragraph. I know your biography can be long, but I'm gonna try my best in as brief as I can, okay? So like I said, Jason is the CEO of Udemy.com. We'll talk about Udemy and its product itch shortly. Jason has over 20 years of experience in software engineering, originally from Australia, so you will notice the Australian accent, and moved to the United States to work for Apple. Later, Jason launched his own company that was acquired by Medio Systems of Seattle. And of course, this is very, very brief biography of Jason. There is a link on top of this video that you can click on that and then go through Jason's LinkedIn profile. Jason, thank you and welcome.
Thanks, Redvan. I think probably the most interesting part of my profile is that I'm now doing coding with kids in K-12 with Udemy, and probably the most fun I've had in my career to date. So really enjoying this last startup and business venture that I've been working on. So that's definitely part of my biography now that I kind of like add on to the end, but really enjoy it. So thanks again for having me on today, and looking forward to seeing what we chat about and where we go today.
Sounds great. Yeah, Udemy and Jason, what he's been doing with Udemy is very exciting. We're gonna get to that very soon. So I'm sure a lot of our audience are waiting for us to talk about the product itch. But real quick, for people that are visiting this page for the first time, we have done a little bit of changes this time, trying to make it more simpler and hear your feedback if it works better. So right now, you're watching the video pretty much on the left side of the screen, and on the right side, we have the points on the agenda topics. And then at the bottom right corner, there is a tab that says Online. If you have any questions, feel free to open up that tab and you can type in your question. I have another monitor that I am looking at the screen here on my left side. I will look through the question, read through the questions, and then bring them in the live session, and then Jason and I can answer them. So it's as simple as that. It's simpler than it used to be before. So now the agenda for today is for people that have heard of EDUonGo for the first time. I will share the screen real quick, and just in less than 3 minutes, I'll talk about EDUonGo, and then we'll move on to Udemy and the itch product. So let me see. Let me do a quick share screen, entire screen. And Jason, you let me know if you see my screen, okay?
Yep.
Okay. There we
go. See your Skype and stuff like that.
Yep.
Man, we don't get to read your private messages. Come on.
Yeah, I forgot to close Skype. It's okay. This is more casual and friendly environment, so we got nothing to hide. All right. So if you go to the homepage of EDUonGo, so you remember you got to, there we go, we got one question already. You got to the eSeminar page. If you look at the link or the URL, it has eduongo.com/eseminars. And EDUonGo is this e-learning platform that enables anyone to create and sell online courses. So when I say anyone, you can be a subject matter expert, an individual, or a trainer that you'd like to teach the world something. You can put courses together by using EDUonGo and put a price into a course and sell those courses. Now, of course, you can be a corporate training or a corporation or university. You can also use EDUonGo to facilitate your online school or online program. So that's really briefly what EDUonGo is all about. And from the homepage, you start by clicking on the Create a Free Course button here. And I said in the agenda as well that we're going to show you how we help others market their courses. We're going to try to get to that at the end of the session once we talk about Udemy, and Jason will talk about its product Itch. So we'll keep that at the end. Let's see. I guess I'm gonna keep looking as on the left side. Okay, so some people. So for people that people that can listen to me now, they already clicked on the play button. But if you can let others know, people that you might know, if they cannot watch this live session, they would have to click on the play button so they can join the live session and watch it. Of course, using Google Hangout, so we have a Google Hangout embedded in that page. That will be a short delay coming to you, which means that you might ask the question now and we will get it in 5 to 10 seconds. Okay, so just bear with us as we go through the questions, and if there's a delay, we'll get to it. Okay, so now, oops, let's see, where is that page one more time? I guess here. This is the page that you are at, okay? And of course, you would have to click the play button to listen to me right now, so I'm not gonna go over that. Okay, Jason, this is all you now. We're gonna talk about Udemy and the Itch product.
Okay, that sounds great. So do you want me to just dive into talking a little about Itch to start with, or what's your thoughts on how to progress with on?
Yeah, I guess if we can talk about how you got to start Itch and what it's Itch doing for teachers, and then we're gonna play some of the videos that how is Itch used in class. So
sure. Yeah. So essentially, I went through a previous company that I built here in Seattle with some friends, and we sold that company to a company in Seattle called Medio. And from that, I was looking for kind of my next venture or opportunity. And your partner, Stephen, actually was talking with me still at the time. And we were talking a lot about coding, and there's a lot of interest and initiative in this area, especially in the Northwest, with Microsoft and other companies here to get coding into schools. There's a big movement around that. So I started getting involved in volunteering at my local schools, and had a lot of sessions with teachers and clubs and whatnot for a while, teaching coding. So from that, I started looking at ways of improving the experience in the classroom. So I was using Scratch, and probably I go through like EarSketch and about 10 other different tools, Code Warriors, Code in Games, Pencil Code, you name it. I've got actually a resource list of different programs and activities that I tried with students at different times. And the one that kind of stuck the most and seemed to get the best results, and also had a lot of teachers that had experience before, was with Scratch. So I essentially decided, to make that my main kind of introduction for the classes that I was doing. But I started having a lot of kind of issues that I ran into with using Scratch in the classroom. So essentially, the teacher found it hard to kind of like see their students. The lessons were kind of like separated, and students were having trouble kind of seeing both any lesson content or directions versus what the Scratch interface was doing. And being kind of the geeky background engineer guy that I am, I was like, well, these are not really that difficult a problem to solve with technology. So Scratch being available from the National Science Foundation from MIT, we were able to take Scratch and modify it and wrap it into a tool that we could use in the classroom, and really focus on teachers first and building that together with EDUonGo to provide the content or the lesson management, the user management, and all that side of things. So, I've formed a partnership with you guys, given that I had that previous experience with Stephen. So kind of like was easy to kind of get in and work together and build a unified solution. And that's really what Itch turned into. And if you like, at some point, as we're chatting, I can do kind of a quick screen share of that and try to show folks just exactly what I'm talking about for a few minutes perhaps. And, what I found is the teachers are kind of loving that. And, I've got great testimonials from everyone. So I'm at a point where it's going really well. We've got hundreds of schools using it now in the area here in the US, and actually in UK, Australia, kind of all over the place. I had someone from New Zealand I was talking with earlier. So there's a lot of traction happening with Itch. So we're now kind of in the process of working on other technologies as well to help bring coding to schools, and just moving forward and growing. So it's all good. So I'll let you kind of drive a little of the agenda before I kind of just keep going and talking, which I have a tendency of doing a lot of. I can keep chatting about Udemy and Itch probably for the whole session, but I think it's better to have you drive a little bit of how you'd like to direct the focus of where I kind of what I talk about, rather than just talk about how awesome I think coding in schools and everything is, which I love it, man. It's like the kids' reactions that I get when I go into schools and classrooms. They're coming out, they're giving me high fives for like, how much they love the classes. I got one of my classes now. It's my favorite thing. I do this course called Augmented Reality. And in that one, the kids are interacting with a webcam. And so I have 30 kids in the classroom all waving their hands around, trying to bounce virtual balls on the screen. So they're kind of like you can imagine a room full of kids doing this. Is kind of fun to watch. So just activities like that I really, and part of the thing that I love is kind of like Stephen, your partner, his philosophy is, finding something you love to do, finding a need in the community, and from there you essentially cannot come to anything but be successful. So that's kind of where I feel like we're at now, and just kind of loving and enjoying it more than anything else I've done in my past to date.
So Jason, I think I'm sure a lot of the audience would love to see Itch in action before we show how others are using it, because I was going to play some of the videos, like how teachers are using Itch in classroom. But let's go straight to it, and then we'll maybe derive with some questions and see how people react when they see Itch in action. So I think we should jump straight to it. So if you can share your screen.
Sure. Let me just go up here. I'm going to share a screen so that Ridvan can see himself.
Yeah.
And this just, I think, can you see my browser there?
Yep. I see.
Okay. So this is, the homepage of courses that are kind of freely available for teachers to try out when they sign up for us. So anyone can come in here to itch.udemy and try out a course as a student. So I'm just going to jump in to one of my courses and just kind of show you what it looks like. So we have a starting course called Bouncing Ball. And to get into this course, you just click take this course. I'm going to register as a new student, and Jason student as my username, and then I'm just going to make up an email address here, jason01 at itch.ucodemy.com. You don't have to use real email addresses, but if you ever want to reset your password, you'll need a real email address. So teachers are able to kind of control and manage a lot of the user management in the system. So I skip over a little welcome video that you can watch if you come in. But we get, as a student, I go right into a course called Bouncing Ball. And I'm just going to shrink this side panel down for now. But they have a set of lessons that we've integrated right into a Scratch environment. And these lessons have built-in videos. So they can start playing one of my videos. I don't think you'll hear the audio, but essentially you kind of see that the students come in and they can build code with these directions, so they can kind of follow along inside the Scratch interface. If you've ever seen this before, the code is all block coding. So they're coming in and they're doing things like, I'm going to make this ball bounce, so let's have some fun. I do a flag block of code, and then I can do a forever block, and I can do motion. This is essentially what we do in the first class. The kids take like an hour. They start from this, and if my ball is on the edge, I'm going to bounce it. So when I do that, I get a bouncing ball on the screen. I can throw in some more code like this, the turn, like 5 degrees. So this is the first course. I get them this far, and then they go off and they play and experiment, doing all sorts of crazy things. Like you can put a pen down, you can stamp the ball, so the ball gets a trail. You can change colors. They start going crazy, and you can imagine just from this simple little bit of code where they're learning about loops and whatnot from the videos over here on the right-hand side, that they start coming up with some pretty fun stuff. So it's more about getting them in and learning and building things as quickly as possible. So the teacher benefits here are really around the management of these projects. So as a teacher, I get to see all of my students' projects all in one place, and just my class. So we set up each teacher with their own kind of area with just their students, so they can share, and everyone gets to easily find each other's stuff and have fun together as a class. So that's just one of the courses. We have a whole unit of stuff for teachers and getting teachers off the ground, making it easy to get them started without too much hassle at all. That's a quick overview. We do live webinars so that people can come in and we go through a lot more detail of all that, so they can get started and feel like they can start their first class with confidence. So hopefully that gives you kind of a quick overview.
Yeah, absolutely. So now I know at EDUonGo we have a lot of subject matter experts that don't have the time to build the content, but they would love to facilitate some content and run their own kind of course catalog. Can you show us that itch if somebody would like to teach coding, or maybe he's just an entrepreneur that would like to facilitate what you do and they love what you're doing? What's the process for them to go ahead and get your course catalog and then go ahead and facilitate that into their classes?
So really what we do is we have the teacher kind of give us a name that they'd like for their school. So we set them up with essentially a copy of all those courses that I just showed you on the homepage. So they get their own version of all those. So that's something that EDUonGo, you guys do, is allow me to make copies of my school for my customers. And so, with a single kind of back-end entry, I can create a new school for a teacher. And so I create that new school and package all my courses together for them. Then they have the ability of going in and messing with those courses or doing whatever they want, or creating their own courses on top of the ones I provide them to start with. So I think that's really one of the many hundreds of cool features. But being able to actually just create a new school for a teacher and have them kind of manage all their students and everything in one place with my courses is a kind of one of the big advantages of using your system.
Yeah. So for any teachers out there, I guess you can go to the EDUcode.com and sign up. Well, first you can play around with some of the courses that Jason was showing you. So at the top, you can click on courses, and then if you'd like to facilitate that content to your students, you can basically sign up, and then Jason's team will make it ready. So
just to kind of add to that, the links that I'm showing, I think they're on your eSeminar page. So if anyone's interested in how to kind of get started, I think we put links on the right-hand side of the eSeminars page if people want to come in and take a look. So hopefully we got some folks on the one that want to ask me some questions about coding in classrooms and things like that, because I'd love to share experiences if people have certain interests or things they want to know about. Like I can talk about kind of what's working and not and stuff like that.
Okay, so we have only one question so far, which is what is Scratch, which I think you already went over it a little bit on the, while you were demoing Itch inside, but if you'd like to just touch one more time, what is Scratch all about?
Yeah, so it's a good question. Scratch has really become a global phenomenon, really. It's probably one of the best places to start from. They have millions of people using the system for creating projects and whatnot. I think the real key differentiator is that they came up with a system of block coding, which is those blocks that you saw me dragging around. And the benefit of that is it really gets students away from the semantics of programming, so they don't have to worry about syntax and language as much as the concepts of loops and conditional if-then statements, and they can kind of visualize it a lot better. There's a term that we use for it called computational thinking. So we're trying to get kids to self-select themselves as being good at computational thinking, right? Rather than be, it's kind of like you might learn how to form sentences in English and use all the correct punctuation, but it doesn't mean you're a good author, right? So coding's kind of the same type of thing. You may be able to write code and be proficient at writing, code that's correct, but you may not be good at creating code, right? You may not be good at thinking about how to build things and put things together and use your imagination for creating stuff. So coding is very much an art in the same form, same way. And Scratch really gives students that starting point to quickly remove the semantics away from coding and get into creating and designing things and seeing what their imaginations come up with. And they pretty quickly learn those concepts of how to put objects together and get them to interact with each other and design games or stories or virtual worlds even, things like that. So that's really why Scratch is so popular, because it's a way of getting people into coding and getting them to that point of learning more about what they can build with it, and realize their kind of imagination a little bit more quickly than just doing what we typically might have learned as you and me when we went through computer science in schools. You have a 3-4 month kind of ramp up to get you past the language issues, whereas if you go into Scratch, that's not there at all. It's just you jump straight over that, and I think that really gets you to understand what you think about coding without having to deal with the stuff that really the computer should be looking after for you. We're getting more and more that way, I think, with languages now. They sort of self-correct and help you along the way without having to worry about semicolons and parentheses and things like that. I think eventually we'll become more towards the block coding style, just from the simplicity of removing around all the language stuff. So that's why we got millions of kids worldwide getting in there and building things and sharing projects, because it really is a fun and fast way for them to to create their dreams, really. So yeah, Scratch facilitates that. I haven't seen any other system that does it as well. There's a bunch of other kind of like other types of ways of learning code. There's a very common kind of like way of doing like what they call turtle graphics, where you'll program something to like move forward 3 spaces, turn left, move forward, go up, jump, and get through a maze. A lot of people, like that. That's a very linear way of helping kids learn how to set a computer program to do a sequence of actions. But I also personally believe it's very restrictive in how it lets kids express themselves and in coding, because they can't really create whatever they want. They just have to, it's kind of like, fill in the blank, fill in the blank. And if you get the blank wrong, you're wrong. You don't really get to be like, well, come up with your own story of what the blank should be, right? And so I really have shied away from the linear turtle programming style of design for my students that I have, because they get a little more passionate about having this open design model that you get with Scratch. And that's really why I, fixated on Scratch as the platform of choice to at least to start from. Like I say, it's a good entry point, and then from there they can progress to some of the more advanced languages and concepts.
Very cool. So we have two more questions, and we can go on to show some of the the videos for how people are using Scratch. The first question is related to that. So what was the main motivation that brought students to start learning from it? So this guy knows Scratch already. So what motivates, what's the difference between itch and Scratch in a way? I think you covered some of that, but I think maybe if we can show maybe the videos. Let me ask you the next question. And then
I could expand on it just a little. I think there's probably 3 or 4 benefits that itch brings. And it's really not so much a benefit to the student as it is to a classroom. And the classroom management side of things, of when you want to teach your kids coding, if you just point your kids at Scratch and say, learn Scratch, I mean, what are they going to do? And then how do you see what they've done? So, you don't have a framework of moving them through, activities and progression of courses or anything like that. And then you also don't have a very easy way of like watching what all the students in your class have been doing. So itch really gives you that single sign-on where we provide a set of lessons that you can have the kids work through, and then their projects and their activities are kind of in one place. I mean, we added a bunch of other stuff, which I don't think probably most people on this call would care too much about, but there's grading inside there. So, students, when they have a project that they, you want to do, actual assessment on, you can grade their projects. Scratch, there's no kind of locking down a project for assessment. The kids can change and modify it. So you can't really grade Scratch projects at all. Commenting on each other's projects in a safe, contained environment just for the classroom, whereas Scratch is just open to the worldwide community. You don't know if someone's 45 years old or what country they're from, but in itch, it's just your class, right? So the students are working together in a real safe environment that works for the teachers and the school. So those are really the fundamental principles of why itch is the kind of progression for Scratch in the classroom. I essentially we built the features that I wanted to be able to use it in the classroom that I found missing, and I was like, that's what we have. I could go into a bunch of other stuff we've done, but those are, I think, the main points, really.
Very cool, very cool. And one question from Brenda: is this K6 or K12, the curriculum inside?
I would say the curriculum. Well, Scratch is essentially I've run Scratch programs from grades 3 through to grade 12 as an introductory course for all grades. That said, I think it does have a sweet spot around grade 3 through to about grade 8 or 9. But really, with computer science, the benefit is that you can really see kids, even at 3rd grade, doing stuff that you may see 8th graders doing. They just do it more quickly. You do have, certain courses like 5th and 6th grade that you'll need at least that level of background, just because there's some algebra. The algebra for like understanding variables, coding. Like once you get into coding and you want to do anything a little bit more complicated, you do need to know what a variable is. Doesn't mean a 3rd grader won't learn that, and trust me, there's tons that have, and could teach 6th graders about variables. But having that background gets them all starting from the same place and able to dive in. So I'd really say the sweet spot for EDUonGo and the courses we have are really more like 3rd to 9th grade. But I've actually used it. I haven't used it younger, but a lot of people do use Scratch younger. But there's also Scratch Junior for iPads. I'd recommend that more for K3. And then I would say you will get high school students pretty bored pretty quickly. They'll get through my courses and have a lot of fun if they're 10th, 11th grade. And I have done, like I say, courses with them. They just work through them a lot more quickly.
Very cool. Okay, great. So do you want to show the couple of the YouTube videos how people use EDUonGo in classroom, or do you want me to let them?
Yeah, off of the EDUonGo website, you're talking about those ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to play those, because I'm not keyed up in YouTube on your Hangout to do that, so it's probably,
Let me find them real quick.
I can probably do it, but you'll watch me stumble around in Google Hangouts for a few minutes.
No worries. Okay, so I'll play the first one here. Which one is? Do you have in the homepage where Cheryl talks to the?
Oh, I don't have the teacher instruction. Let me pull that one up for you, because it's not actually on the EDUonGo page. It's on my list of things to do.
I want to show that one. If you can paste it on the chat window here at Google Hangout.
Yep, I'll have it just in a second. Okay, here it is. So do I just put it in this YouTube link, or what do I do?
Yeah, just put the YouTube link on the chat window, then I'll go ahead and play it in front of everybody.
Okay, gotcha. So if you're in Google Hangout, no, you're not. People will see this. Okay, never mind. I'll be quiet. Okay, chat.
Yeah, they will see it through the embed kind of window. There you go. I got it. Okay, right. So I'll click on that. Let's see how we do this.
I think I know how to add this to the YouTube thing. I just saw it pop up for me. You want me to do it, or you got it?
All right. Jason, were you able to watch that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
came up for me. I'm not sure if it's means that it's coming up in the stream that you did, but
I think
I'm
it
sure
will.
someone would comment if it wasn't.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it will get recorded. So I have no idea how that gap looks like in the recorded version, but I think it will play when people watch it live. So
Yep. So I think the kind of the message that that's really showing is kind of like that's the reaction I get from most students. They kind of all love the fact that there's some reference material inside the learning system from EDUonGo, how we set up the courses that they can refer to, but then they get to explore and create kind of whatever they want. And I think that's one of my philosophies as far as the pedagogy of coding goes, is to really give them a, watch me, then you do, then you copy me, and then you do what you want, type of a three-phase approach, right? So, start from watching what I'm doing, then you follow along with what I'm doing, and then you kind of get to do whatever you want from that basis, and kind of encouraging them down different directions and different types of differentiated instruction that they can really branch out to whatever their interests are and start making up their own projects. I keep getting really surprised by how diverse the projects that the kids create, even when I start them off with the same type of stuff. It's like they, instead of having, the bouncing ball around the screen, they may have a shark chasing toasters and it's chomping away trying to catch the toaster and eat it. I mean, just really, it lets their expressions of their own personality come through just from a few simple bits of code to get them started. And I think that's the fun of coding, really, right? It's like when I started, that's what got me into it, is just being able to create things. Mind you, we didn't have stuff like Scratch, but that's what got me excited about it and into it when I was a student.
So here's an interesting question. How much hand-holding do you have to do for the teachers to deliver your content?
It's a great question. So it varies depending on what the teacher's kind of level of expertise and experience obviously is in technology, and then also how many courses or classes they want to run. So most of the I have a range, probably, let me just put it that way. I have a range of teachers, ones that really are not too familiar with technology, but I think they are successful, along with teachers that have had some experience. Really, it comes down to having the right mentality or approach as a teacher to say, it's okay that I might not know the answer. EDUonGo is kind of like your support arm. We put discussion boards from EDUonGo into the courses so the students can ask coding questions, and we'll help them kind of get those answers. But I think you've got to, to be successful, you really have to approach it that, let's figure it out together. Or let's, ask the EDUonGo team for an answer to this. We don't necessarily know how to do something that we want. So I think the short answer is, spend half an hour, an hour with some of the courses before you do them in your classroom, and you'll be fine. I have, for instance, a local librarian that's running an after-school coding club, and she has no kind of technology experience and background, and she's sitting there doing the courses together with the kids. So, she's learning alongside them at the same time they're doing it, and she's able to kind of encourage, because obviously as an adult, she's moving through the courses and learning things a lot more quickly than the students are. And so she's able to support them on the same activities just by doing essentially the same courses and having fun doing it. And, the projects she's creating are kind of interesting to watch and stuff. But I give that as an example because she doesn't have a computer science or technology background. The kids that are coming in wanting to learn coding in her community are going to the library because they don't have access to technology. And they're everyone's doing great, right? With very little support from my end. Just with a few kids that get a bit more advanced, they may have specific questions of like, why does my guy bounce off the edge of the screen when I want him to like go to the next stage of my game that I've just created? And we're able to go in, look at their project, and then we get an answer back to them within the next day before they go back to the coding club again. So the teacher has a kind of fallback support staff of Udemy to help them after the fact if they do get stuck on something that they specifically want to do. And there's a lot of material and other lessons that they can move on with. They don't have to feel stuck on anything. There's the redirect teacher, right? That's a great teacher strategy of like, well, we can't work this out right now. Let's do this next lesson, or let's look over the material again and see if we can see anything from that of like how it would work. But I try to leverage the teacher's skills in my courses. So for instance, I have a course called Digital Storytelling that I've created. I did that in partnership with an English language arts teacher that had no technology or coding experience. So she's able to bring the parts to that course that are the English language criteria and things that she's looking to get her kids into of learning. And they're creating little snippets of stories, short stories with code that kind of gets them a lot more engaged, but also satisfying English language art credit for her students. So, I'm very much about a partnership model. And I can bring the computer science side, but I'm looking for, all the time looking for ways to engage the teaching skills that the teachers have together with what we put together. And I think that's the big differentiator with Itch and Udemy is I'm not focused on trying to replace or work around teachers. I'm looking to try to put them in the driver's seat and work out how to support them with the skills that they've already built over many, many years. So, it's a partnership at the end of the day.
Very cool. So there's one question that goes to you. Another one, I think I can take this one. Let me go to the one for me. I think this somebody joined late. So they're saying, I'm confused. Is EDUonGo teaching coding now? So real quick.
You should. Yeah. If you guys want to buy my company, that'd be cool with me.
Yeah, so you never know what happens. Anyway, so EDUonGo and Udemy are two different companies. EDUonGo has helped Udemy get up and running in less than 2 months, and Udemy, as you can listen into the recording. Udemy has a product that teaches kids how to code, an awesome product. And Udemy uses EDUonGo to facilitate the environments for their endeavors on teaching kids how to code in a way. So they're two different companies, okay? EDUonGo is still the platform that gives you the tools e-learning tools for you to set up online courses. The question for you is from Inez from Brazil. How easy is it to localize your content? Can I do it myself, or do I need you to help me do it in terms of capability? Can I do it myself?
Sure. Let's have me switch and do a screen share again. So I'm going to screen share this Google Hangout again. And so if I go back into my bouncing ball course that I just had, I'm just going to log in as a teacher this time. So EDUonGo provides a platform where you can edit. This is EDUonGo's bread and butter, really. They provide a way of creating sessions in courses, so you can create new ones and edit. So one of my courses here is the Bouncing Ball project that's coming up inside Itch. So I can click on this. I get all the content that was coming up, and as a teacher, I can just click Edit, and I can click Edit again, and away I go. It's like new stuff here, right? And then if I save that, then now when a student comes in to do the course, you can put whatever you want in there essentially. But I do a new project. as a student. Then the content that you're creating within EDUonGo, sorry, not this one, bouncing ball, is coming up directly, right? So you can see you're editing the sessions and the content with EDUonGo, and they're immediately reflected inside Itch. And we give you ways of choosing which sessions you want to come up in here. You can see that not all of them are showing up. So we've integrated the two platforms kind of together through the lesson management system. So in Itch, you can kind of edit what you like and create your own. And the beauty too of EDUonGo is you can just copy this whole course and start editing, deleting stuff, adding your own pretty much, immediately. So there's really no overhead to creating your own content and courses once you're set up with the system. So that hopefully that gives you a real-time view of how easy it is. So if you have any further questions, or you'd like me to actually demo anything specific that you might want to put in, like I can talk about, for instance, some of the harder parts of it is creating videos. So if you want, I can talk about how I do my lesson videos. That's part of the model that we use, or we can talk about kind of how I structure the courses and things like that. I could go into those things in more detail. If anyone wants to throw a question like that out, I'm happy to go into some more detail on any of those areas. We do have a, let me screen share again. Sorry, I should have left my screen sharing on. We do have a system in Udemy that's called Udemy You Can Book Me. So when you register with us, we basically publish out a calendar of appointments that you can pick a time slot. So you can do a 30-minute session with a Udemy employee, and they'll go through how to create sessions, any questions you have on using it in your class, show you how students can do assignments and everything else. So there's no lack of support from our end. So if you want to take advantage of one of these sessions, you just click and book a time, and then we'll go through kind of the same type of stuff with a Google Hangout, showing you how to do whatever it is you want to do, customized for your classroom.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, we don't have any more questions. Some people are trying to write, but they haven't hit the enter button yet. So no questions right now, I guess. We have only 10 minutes left, so I was gonna real quick talk about how we help academies market their courses as well. Okay.
Yep.
And then I'll come back if there's any more questions, Jason. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, thank you. So let me see, before I share my screen, let me close Skype. I opened up Skype again. So let me see here now. If I hit share, okay. So I'm gonna go to the homepage. So at high level, EDUonGo doesn't want to blend in all of the academies together into a marketplace where people can pick and choose what courses to take, at least not for now. So we encourage academy owners to build their own brand under their own website. So notice Udemy and Itch has is using the platform under their own website and domain and logo, etc. So ways that we help others promote their courses is, you scroll down here. So if you scroll here, some statistics, we have over 1,000 academies that are using EDUonGo. And right below that, there is a guide that I have created with a few others that will teach you or show you how to sell online courses if you follow a 10 steps format, a 10 steps guide, I guess. So if you click here, you can download this, and it goes through steps on why is it important to create your YouTube channel and post a video of your course. how should you structure your course detail page so people are willing to pay for your course. So the 10 steps are laid down into 3 main categories. The first one is how to drive traffic to your website, okay, or to your course catalog. The second one is how to build the trust with your users. So people that you drove traffic, how do you get to know them? And one way to do it is using the e-seminar that we're doing right now, inviting people so they can chat with you live. And the last part on this guide is how to make a sellable course. What does it take for people to actually see a value in your course and then purchase that course? So if you download this, you can reach out to us and then we can help you or partner with you to pretty much drive traffic, trust, and sell to your course catalog. And of course, we're going to keep doing the e-seminars, so we will keep inviting other subject matter experts or other academies that have been using EDUonGo. And this is another way of promotion as well, because all these videos will be recorded and saved it for people to watch them later. One last point I want to mention is we do send a blast emails to students of some academies that your content is relevant towards, so that way that your courses or your academy get exposed to some of the students on specific academies, and we can talk about that. If you're interested, you can reach us at the contact us page or write me directly at redvan@eduongo.com. So real quick, I wanted to touch some of these points on how we help academies promote their courses or course catalogs. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. So I guess when I was talking, people didn't see what I was doing. Jason, do you see my screen or? I can't hear you.
I do, but I had to click back on you on the bottom for it to come up for some reason. It was on the...
Yeah, I'm not sure. So somebody just left a comment that they didn't see what I was doing. They were just looking at you. So I don't know if the Google Hangout will do that automatically in the recorded version, but if you guys can click.
I think it's up to you to click down in the bottom right-hand panel, Redvan, on what you want it to show.
Oh my God. Okay. So I guess, yeah, I'm at this page already. So in our homepage, if you keep scrolling down, you will see the guide that I was talking about. So you can download the guide, which is a PDF file that you get to download and then go through the steps. And feel free to reach out to me directly or write us at the contact us page at the bottom of the page. You can click on that. So yeah, sorry about that. I forgot to click on the Google Hangout so I can share the screen or show the screen. Okay, we have 5 minutes left. I think at the end, Jason, if we can just show the, if you would like to do it, just show the link of EDUcode.com and what is the call to action if people would like to start using Itch.
Sure.
Let
me just share my screen then. So this is the courses, but if you go to EDUcode.com, and we will bring you here if you go to Udemy as well. So essentially this page just is our kind of starting page for Itch. We go over kind of a lot of the information we just talked about today on this site, so you can go through some videos of watching kind of like using the lessons and some of the features that we have here. We go through kind of like our approach to it. You also have some links here to go and try one of the courses. So what I just was showing, where you sign in and try to take one of the courses, you can have your students do that if you like. Just keep in mind that the free course link, all your students are kind of in the same course as everyone else in the world. So it's just really to try it out. If you want the main advantages with the academy and editing and doing all that other stuff we were talking about, you'll have to sign up for a teacher account. So here's all the different signups. You can sign up free, which will get you through to the student signups as well. But if you do a teacher account, the only other thing, we don't ask for any credit card information or anything like that. We get you set up as a teacher in the system to try it out. I think it's awesome enough that you can just go in and start using it, and you'll want it. But just put in the main thing here is when we do set up your academy for your school, we'll need your prefix of the school name that you want to use. So that's the main additional item that we get from you there, and you'll be off and trying it. So you get a 14-day try it out, and from there, if you're looking to keep using it, we just will invoice you for the remainder of whatever you're looking to use it for. So just let us know. And once you do sign up, you get all the links for all the support sign-ups for like that half-hour sessions that I was talking about. And if you just want to ask me a question about coding, feel free to just contact me directly and send me an email, and I'd be more than happy to share other ideas. If you, for instance, even if you're not interested in Scratch or Itch, I'm more than happy to share other resources and ideas around coding, because for me, this is just one vehicle. My main goal is to get coding into classrooms. So I'm willing, and more than happy to have conversations and chat with you and your school. And also, even if you want me to do a session and talk to the kids about coding and opportunities in coding, I'd be happy to do a live hangout with your classroom. Feel free to ask me in an email to do that if you're so inclined, or that's something you want. But yeah, so just ideas like that, drop me an email and let me know.
Okay, so one of the questions is, are all the signups with Itch or EDUonGo? So that's a good question to clarify. I guess when you sign up at the itchcode.com, you are signing up for the Itch Code service. However,
so you get Itch, and then Itch is tied into the system. So the session management essentially is we support sessions that have like files and that you can do videos, files and whatnot in the session. So it's not the same as an EDUonGo account. You're getting the coding version, which is just for Itch.
Okay. Very cool. I guess we got 1 minute left. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining. I have enjoyed this session a lot more than my previous session being alone. So this is awesome. Jason, your platform is just amazing. The content and the value that you bring into the audience, it's lovely. So I think everybody will, I'm hoping everybody to start signing up, at least go to the courses and take a look at the courses that Jason and his team has put together. So that's it for today.
And I'll just add that if anyone has other questions, to make sure shoot those to us. If you have ideas for other sessions or things you'd like us to talk about, happy to join you again, Ridvan, and do another session. If people have a topic that they'd like to hear more about, I think email Ridvan or myself, and I'm sure we can probably get on and do another.
Yeah. So there are people that are using or have academies at EDUonGo, and one of the instructional designers is saying Jason must know a lot of code to customize EDUonGo that way. So it's really not that hard. It's not that Jason did so much coding. He used what we call the LTI layer. Of course, he built the Itch platform, which involves a lot of coding, but integrating with EDUonGo, Jason used our LTI layer, which is, again, you can embed your external application inside EDUonGo and then use that inside your courses. And if you're interested on how to do that, feel free to reach us at info@eduongo.com or email me directly. But that was just the last comment I wanted to read out. So.
Gotcha. Very cool.
All right.
Yeah.
You everybody. Until next time, stay safe and good day, good evening to some of you people. Thank you, Jason. I really appreciate it.
See you later. See you, mate.
The right things.